Hey everyone, welcome back. This is part two, Leadership for an Unstoppable Business. My name is Alay Yajnik, Certified FocalPoint Business Coach. We've already gone through two of the four tips and how to actually be a powerful leader for an unstoppable business, and we're going to cover the other two right this second. If you haven't heard the previous video, listen to this one and then you can go back. They're totally independent of one another. And what we're talking about again, when we talk about an unstoppable business, this is a business that is 100% laser focused on delighting your customers, because as we talked about, it's entirely possible that if all you did in business was delight your customers, you wouldn't need to do any marketing, you wouldn't need to do anything else, and you'd still have a business that not only grew, but a business that couldn't be stopped. Because delighted customers come back and delighted customers tell their friends. Now, the inverse is also true. If you do everything else correctly and everything else to perfection, except delighting your customers, you're still going to get nowhere. You're going to be out of business really fast. So the secret to success in building an unstoppable business is to simply delight your customers. And what we're going to be going through here are two more tips on ways that you as a leader can really drive that into your organization. Now, the first thing leaders spend a lot of time about is communicating the vision, and communicating the vision to everybody they can. Not just your team members, although you should spend a lot of time doing that, but also to your customers. You are the oracle of your organization, and it's up to you to be communicating that positive vision of where you want to go. And this is, by the way, one of the buildings that I think, well, this is my favorite building, excuse me. It's the Taj Mahal in India, and it's one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. This was a vision, right? And it took a long time and hundreds and thousands of artisans to complete this. The artisans were out there doing their amazing sculptures and laying their stonework and doing what they had to do. But it took constant inspiration from the architect that had this vision to keep them motivated and keep them moving, keep them focused on the details, and make sure that they executed every little detail to perfection, because they weren't doing it for their small task. They were doing it for the larger whole. They were doing it for what this building was going to become. And that's why it's so important for you as a leader of your organization to communicate that vision, because it's going to make sure that everyone on your team is inspired, is passionate, and spends that extra effort in delighting their customers. Likewise, when you communicate your vision to customers, maybe you don't have a Taj Mahal yet. Maybe you're still a work in progress. But if they can see the vision, if they can buy into the vision, they're going to be loyal customers, and they're going to be with you on that journey. It's amazing what customers will put up with as far as growing pains if they believe in you and they believe in your vision. But you as a CEO, or you as a president, or you as a leader have got to communicate that vision. No one else is going to do it for you, and no one else will do it as well as you can. So, leadership, one of the things you have to do is spend your time communicating the vision. Now, the second thing you do as a leader, hand in hand with that, is to set crystal clear priorities for your organization. One of the challenges that I've seen happen to a lot of organizations is the leaders don't set clear priorities because they don't want to say no to things. And what happens is the organization gets confused, it gets inefficient, and it loses focus. And instead of doing a few things really well, and again, driving towards that vision, they try and do everything, and they do it all really, really poorly. So setting crystal clear priorities is your job as leader, and that's one of the things you can do because you have that vision. So these two things go hand in hand. You communicate the vision, and then you set crystal clear priorities for your team. In this regard, you are actually acting as a little bit of a lighthouse. You're providing a beacon of light cutting through the fog that they can latch onto and navigate and perform and deliver. Right? But it all starts with communicating that vision, and then the follow-up is setting crystal clear priorities. So, just as a quick recap here, what are the four things that we've talked about? The four things as a leader that you can do. Number one, you can interact with your customers, again, 10 to 25% of the time. The second thing you should do is own the customer experience. The buck stops with you. Understand what your customers are going through, understand what you do really well, and understand what you can do even better. The third thing you want to do, communicate the vision, communicate it to your team, communicate it to your customer, but always be communicating that vision and never assume that they remember, because they probably don't. And they certainly don't remember it as well as they need to. And once you communicate the vision, you can set crystal clear priorities, which are going to enable your organization to focus and execute on the things that really matter. So in a nutshell, those are 4 things that you can do to build a laser-focused organization that delivers huge customer value. And these are things that, again, you may not find in many leadership books, but they are tried and true, and they're the things that separate customer-focused leaders from everybody else. And guess who has that unstoppable business? If you're interested in talking more about leadership for an unstoppable business, I'd love to have the conversation with you. My name again is Alay Yajnik. I'm a certified FocalPoint business coach. Thanks a lot for listening.